So I'm finding in my practice, as well as some of my colleagues in their practice, that there's this thing about women and family. Women always valued family, and they continue to do so, even with the trends that are happening. However, this thing about soulmating and finding companionship and this idea about friendship and making those connections, no matter what that comes under, just trying to make those connections to kind of find that soulmate and hopefully connect and build a family together. Well, I'm very curious to hear what you have to say about women probably in moving from the 30s to the 40s, and they don't have that mate, yet they want that family. And they're okay with some of the options that are out there to still have the family. And even in going that route, they still want that mate. And this idea of sharing men is prevalent. It's not like out in the forefront that this is happening, but it's prevalent. And it's like this underlying, activity that's going on underneath and an awareness of it. So I'm interested to hear if you have any comments about that, and have you ran across those type of discussions. And the second part is the influence of media, and particularly this thing now that they have out called Sister Wives on TV. I'm going to bring that gorilla out there. And then knowing that media does have an effect on how people think about life, and especially our young people, and how they move forward and thinking about values and their beliefs and options and experiences. I'm just curious on what you may have to say, and how something like that could just filter into our society, and what does that say about us maybe 20, 30, 40 years from now? Thank you.
Well, I would just agree with you that the desire for intimacy with another adult is very strong, and the desire to share the rearing of children is very deep in human experience and human nature. So, with all the difficulties that men and women face today, that persists. But, I do think that even with the patterns of serial monogamy, we have a pattern of man sharing whereby, women share one man in serial fashion, have children by that man, and in step families and other things. So that whether it's, sharing
temporally or
thank you, yes, temporally or serially, it is a pattern that has developed in recent times.
Very problematic pattern, I'd say. I mean, I think sexual jealousy is just ingrained in us. I don't think it's ever gone away. So, I would guess that in a lot of those situations, they'll reach a point where it just, it isn't working. I mean, thinking about polygamous marriages where sexual jealousy is a very common problem. So, I don't see that. I do think that we'll see, won't see a lot of stable relationships there. One other thing I wanted to add is that one of the reasons that I think that Americans in particular are so longing for these deep connections is that we are a very rootless and mobile people, and we don't, we don't have a lot to make us feel like this is where I belong, this is who I am meaningful to. I think in other cultures that are more homogenous and who, where it's almost tribal, people around you are like you, maybe there isn't that drive to the same extent. Maybe you're more likely to live in the same place you grew up in and people know you. We're not like that, and I think that puts more, that makes it more important for us to, or feels more important for us to have that that relationship that will make us feel that way, needed, wanted, known, rooted.